So in today's video, I'll be talking about the power of having a routine as a footballer. Now, in my opinion, having a routine as a footballer is crucial because I think for me, it just calms my nerves. It just calms your nerves because it gives you that sense of control, that sense of um, predictability. Because let's be honest, in a sport like football, there's so much chaos going on within the game, before the game, even sometimes after the game. There's so many external factors that can lead to you having either a good game, an average game, or a terrible game. We're talking about things like, the weather, your opponents, your teammates. You don't know on the day, maybe five of your teammates are just not feeling it that day and they're having a bad game, or then there's another teammate who gets injured during the game, and then it changes the whole dynamic of the game. So in football, there's so much chaos and unpredictability that sort of happens, like I said, before, during, and after the game. That you having a routine is sort of that, a pre-game routine or even a post-game routine. It's sort of that sacred thing to you. It's that thing that you can always rely on amidst all the chaos. You understand? It's that one thing where it's like, all right, cool. No matter what happens today, I can rely on my routine to get me in the headspace, to get me ready to play this game. And now, having a routine, we're talking about things like going to bed at the same time every single day. Maybe eating the same food, eating the same meal before every single game. Maybe even after the game, having a post game recovery. Maybe you do like a 10-minute stretching routine, 15-minute stretching routine. Maybe you go for a walk before the game. Maybe on that walk you're listening to music. You're listening to music that sort of gets you in the zone, gets you hype before the game. Whatever you need to do um, before the game to get you into that mode, to get into that zone. I feel like it's crucial to have a routine as a footballer, because imagine that you just don't have a routine. Imagine that every single time you play a game, whether it's a midweek game, Saturday, Sunday, whenever you play the game, imagine every single time it's just different. Like you don't know what's going on. Some days you arrive to the game an hour early. Other days you're arriving there 45 minutes early. And another game you're arriving there an hour and a half early. It's sort of like there's no sort of routine. There's no sort of like consistency, which will obviously spill over onto the pitch. If there's no consistency in your routine, it's very likely that there's not going to be any consistency in your game. And that's another thing. It sort of spills over into how to be more consistent. I feel like a routine is one of the easiest ways to be more consistent, because when you just have a routine, when you have some certain things that you do every single time, like I said, it gets you mentally ready, and it just feels like you have just control within the game. It just feels like you walk onto that pitch and you're like, all right, cool. I've done everything I need to do. I know I'm gonna have a good game. I know if I do this within the game, I'm gonna help my team win. I feel like that's what a routine did for me. I feel like once I actually implemented a routine, a set of things that I actually did before and after every single game, I felt like, yo, anytime I stepped onto the pitch, I was like, yo, if I do this, this, and this, I'm gonna help my team win the game. Like, you sort of feel that you yourself, you're gonna be the reason why your team either wins or loses the game. You understand? You feel like you have that control over the game. You're like, all right, cool. I know what I need to do. As long as I do what I need to do, I'm gonna help my team win the game. And that's such a good feeling, because it just gives you all the confidence in the world, because it's like, yo, I know what to do. I know my job. I know my role. I know what my teammates expect from me. I know what my manager expects from me. Hey, let me go get it done. And I know if I get it done, we're gonna win the game eventually. So I just feel like having a routine is such a powerful tool, because, like I said, if you're doing before and after the game, if you're doing the same things every single time, same good habits every single time, you're being consistent with them. Of course, like I said, that's gonna spill over into your performances. Your performances are gonna be mad consistent. But if you don't really have a routine, you're doing different things, you're jumping from thing to thing every single time, like I said, your performances are going to reflect that. Your performances are going to be like 7 out of 10 one week, 4 out of 10 the next week. Maybe you drop an absolute stinker, 1 out of 10, but then the next week it's an 8. Then you drop a 10. Then you drop a 7 out of 10. And like I said, obviously you get the highs, but you get the extreme lows as well. You don't really want that. You want to be there. You want to be, like I said, minimum 6 out of 10 every week, 6 and above every single week. And in my opinion, one of the easiest ways to do that is just implement a good routine, a routine that makes you feel ready, a routine that sort of, I think the main thing with a routine is limiting the chaos, limiting the unpredictability, just calming your nerves before the game. Because, like I said, there's too many external factors that can lead to you having a good performance or a bad performance. Too many external factors that can lead to your team winning the game or losing the game. Like I said earlier, one of your best players might get injured in like the 20th minute. All right, cool. So now you need to adjust. Maybe you go out that day, the weather looks fine once you actually step onto the pitch, but 10 minutes into the game, it's pouring, it's raining. Maybe you're playing on grass and the pitch is getting it's just get the pitch is just absolutely terrible now because of the rain. Now you're gonna have to adjust. Now you know, okay, cool, I need to take less touches now because you don't trust the surface. Maybe the ball might bubble up when you take a touch, so you just need to be wary of just so many external factors like that. You need to tell yourself, all right, cool, I need to take less touches on the ball. Maybe if you're a fullback, maybe you were planning on, all right, cool, I get the ball out of my feet, take a few touches, then I can find my pass. But now, because the pitch is bad, because of the rain, the hailstone, whatever external factor it is that occurs, you're like, all right, cool, I need to just one touch out my feet, hook it line. One touch out my feet, maybe find my centre mid inside. Just little things like this. But amidst all the chaos, at least you have the one thing going for you, the one thing that is in your control, the one thing that you can make sure that, yo, no matter what happens, I have my routine, I have my thing that will get me ready for the game and just prepares me for whatever happens. Whatever happens, I'm ready. Now, my advice to you would be to create two routines. Literally create a pre-training routine and a pre-match routine. Obviously, these are going to be different depending on your lifestyle, depending on your age. Maybe if you're a young guy, like I said, maybe you might have training midweek. You might have 2 training sessions midweek. So then you're coming back from school. So literally just sort of plan it in your head. You can even write it down if you want. But literally just plan it in your head. Just be like, all right, cool. Let's say you come back from school. Literally just start your pre-training routine from there. Let's say you have a training session. All right, cool. Just think about it in your head, or you can even write it down. All right, you just say to yourself, all right, cool. I come back from school. What's my next move after that? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna eat? How am I gonna prepare? Am I gonna go for a walk before? Am I what am I gonna eat? Am I gonna go on a walk? Uh, what else could you do after school? Are you gonna do some homework beforehand? Are you gonna read a book? Whatever you feel like you need to do. Are you gonna stretch beforehand? Maybe you go out to your back garden, do a few kick ups, do a few passes against the wall. Whatever you want to do for your pre-training routine, do that. And then, in my opinion, obviously you got to have one for the match day. Maybe like I said, if you're a young player, your match days are probably on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. You might have some cup games midweek, but mainly it's probably going to be you're either going to play on the Saturday or the Sunday. So obviously you're going to wake up and literally just plan it out in your head or write it down. Literally just say to yourself, all right, cool, I wake up, what's my next move? Obviously you're going to have the basics like, oh, I'm going to brush my teeth, maybe shower before the game, blah, blah, blah. But then obviously you get to the, all right, cool, what am I gonna eat for breakfast? And whatever you choose to eat for breakfast, just try keep it the same time every single time. All right, cool. Am I gonna go for a little walk before the game, a light jog before the game? What type of music am I gonna listen to? Just little things like that. Obviously, the time you actually wake up as well, like I said before, matters as well. Obviously, I know timings in games can differ, but just say to yourself, all right, cool, whatever time I need to be at the ground for, I'm gonna wake up 2 hours before, 3 hours before, 4 hours before, however long you need, but just make sure you keep it consistent. You understand? And just make a routine, and just make a match day routine. So yeah, literally just have 2 routines. Literally have a pre-training routine and a pre-game routine. Literally, it can consist of whatever you want to do, whatever works for you. But just make sure you're consistent with it. Just make sure you're consistent with it, so that consistency can sort of spiral and spill over into your performances, so that you're putting up, like I said before, at least minimum 6 out of 10 performances every single week, and you become that guy that your teammates know that no matter what type of game it is, whether it's a meaningless league game at the end of the season where you're competing for nothing, or it's the cup final, you become that guy where your teammates and your manager know, okay, cool, this guy, we can rely on this guy. We know what he brings to the table. You want to be that player. Put it like this: you want to be that player where you get so consistent to the point where when your manager sort of is doing the team talk and he talks through the formations and he's giving all of you your like individual roles. He'll say to the right back, all right, cool, you need to make sure this game they have a good winger, so I don't want you to bomb forward as much, stay back. And then he'll say to the striker, I need you to hold up the ball, bring people into play. But when he comes to you, let's say you're a centre mid, when it comes to you, you want to be the guy where your coach is just like, you all right, cool. I don't really need to tell you what to do. You already know what to do. Like I know what I'm gonna expect from you. You want your coach to say that to you. You want your coach to be like, all right, cool. I know I'm gonna get through. Just do what you always do. That's where you know you've got your coach's trust. When he just says, yo, just do what you normally do. You know what to do. Just go on the pitch and just play your game. That's when you know you've got the coach's trust. That's the level you want to get to as a footballer, no matter what level you're playing at. So that's all I've got to say for this vid. I hope you enjoyed. I've been JT and I'm out.